Okay, so first of all, excuses for the glare. I dropped my phone already and the screen protector cracked right where there is the camera hole. Hello, anyways, I am May and I've been living in Bangkok in Thailand already for a little over 2 years. And I think it's about time to make this video about why I moved here and what I'm doing here and things like that. I always wanted to make this video, but I've been procrastinating it, but not anymore. So here we are making the video. Let's go. So anyways, the first question, why did you move to Bangkok? I think looking back there were two factors, right? Ugh, I hope I don't get like ant bites here. So the first reason was back in college. So I did a course, or my university major for my bachelor was international business, and for this program we had to go abroad a couple of times. So I went to China, Korea and Myanmar, and at that time I really liked my time abroad, and I always knew that after I finish with my studies I want to live abroad in Asia for a bit. And then the second reason, well, during my studies and during my time abroad I met a guy and we fell in love and we did long distance for quite a bit. And I think at one point, of course, you want to close the gap, you want to be together. So after my first job out of college, that was still back in the Netherlands, I quit that and moved to Bangkok to be together. So I think that is why I chose Bangkok specifically, Thailand specifically, as the country in Asia that I would move to. I guess that is the main two reasons why. So the next question that I always hear is like, okay, can you speak Thai, right? And okay, wait, let me put this down, it's getting heavy. I'm a little bit afraid to say that unfortunately, well, not afraid, I'm a little embarrassed to say that I cannot, just a little bit, but not enough to, like converse or even survive. But luckily in Bangkok you don't really need the Thai language to like do your things, like arranging condos, like logistic things. It's very okay to do that with just English. I think it gets a bit harder when you're moving outside of Bangkok, but I don't have experience with that. But that's not to say that I think it's actually good to learn a language of the country that you are staying in long term, right? And yes, I know I'm guilty that I don't. Short answer, TLDR, no, I don't speak Thai after 2 years. Yep. It's 4:30 and we're losing a bit of daylight, so let's wrap this up real quick. Oh my god, I wanted to sit there, but then I saw that we have a friend and I'm a little afraid, so let's not go there. So the next thing that I want to address is kind of like the pros and cons of living in Bangkok, or the ones that I personally find. And let's start with the pros. So what I really like about living in Bangkok is that there is honestly like so much to do. It's such a big city, it has so many people, there's so many places, so there's always something going on. So it really has that city life. So I think if you are in that phase of life where you want that excitement, that cool, like hip happening things, then Bangkok is definitely a very, very nice place. The second pro that I would say is that, and I think it links to the other one, right? It has so much different food. So I'm a foodie and I really like the variety of foods that Bangkok offers. It's not just Thai food, it has cuisines of almost like all of the places in the world. As I was saying, it's quite easy because there's just so many expats here. As I said, you can do a lot with English, and it's very easy to rent a condo, or you have multiple different visas that you can try to stay long term with. So I think Bangkok or Thailand is quite an easy place to move abroad to. So a few cons. I think one con is definitely for me the smog, the PM 2.5. It gets really bad, or it can get really bad sometimes. So for your health and just going outside, it's not the best to be dealing with that a lot. I think another con about living in Bangkok is the lack of access to nature outside. I mean, I don't drive, so that can be the barrier for that. And so yeah, but also within the city, like sure we have like parks and stuff, but it's not that many, and there's not so much green space and peacefulness. So sometimes I do want that. Another con that I find is the lack of pavements and like streetlights sometimes. So it is really a city that is built for cars. Yeah, I think me coming from the Netherlands and coming from Europe, we're used to like walking a lot and everything is like well lit, there's like pavements. So I think that was one of the bigger cons for me. Okay, so let's talk money a little bit. So people ask me sometimes as well, so what is the cost of living in Bangkok? And I say it kind of depends where you are originally from. So I come from the Netherlands, right? And our cost of living is way higher than here. So, you know, like when I'm here and I see something in Thai baht and then I convert it to euro, I'm like, that's so cheap. But after living here for a while, I'm like, Bangkok is actually getting kind of expensive, you know? But I think if you're coming from like a Western country, Europe, America, Australia, or like a westernized country, I think Bangkok can be quite affordable. It obviously depends what your income is or how much you have saved to be able to live here. My main expenses in the month definitely is rent, transportation, food, and then some like shopping and miscellaneous. So I think it's definitely way cheaper than Europe or the Netherlands. But within the region, living in Bangkok especially can get a little bit more expensive. One thing I do want to say as well, like you can make Bangkok as cheap or as expensive as you want, right? So you can of course go to like fancy bars and go out all the time, get like the most luxurious condo. And yeah, sure, you can even live for Western standards, like, you know, expensive. But Bangkok has a lot of sites, and there's also a lot of street food that you can eat. You can get more affordable houses. Generally, it's more expensive in the region, but yeah, if you just, you know, do your research, know where to go, know what prices are reasonable, don't get scammed, then it's okay. You can have a nice life here, I would say. I don't think that answers the question, but we'll roll with it.